Hello and welcome to Forward 40 TV. I am Judette, and on today's episode of Forward 40, I'm going to show you a basic foundation routine, how I apply foundation to my skin, what I do to prevent it from getting into my brows or my hairline, and then of course some simple tricks and tips for how to apply foundation, especially when you're dealing with aging skin. I hope you are inspired. So one of the key things that I recognize when it comes to the application of your foundation is really your moisturizer. And so you want to have your skin lightly moisturized. I have normal skin, so I don't really have a T-zone alongside my forehead or my nose or my chin, but I do like my moisturizer to be on so that the foundation has a little bit of slip. Now, I did a moisturizing routine just before I filmed this foundation video, so my face is lightly moisturized, and I've placed moisturizer just along my dry areas here. It was a little bit thicker hair, and then I placed it just very lightly across my forehead, down to my chin, my nose, sorry, and then my chin. There are three things, I think, when it comes to your foundation, and it's the tools you use, it's the application of your product, and how you sort of buff your product into your skin. Now, with regard to the tools, typically people use one of three tools. They use the beauty blender, which I think it's fantastic. They use a brush, and there are a variety of brushes on the market. Or people tend to use their fingers, and I'm the finger girl. I'm the person that I love to use my fingers, as you can tell from all the videos that I've done before, and I'll leave a couple of the links below. I often massage my skin. I'm a big proponent for opening up your lymph nodes and just using your fingers to connect with your face and just taking care of your skin that way. So because I do that quite a bit, I'm very comfortable using my fingers to apply foundation. So one of the things that I do is that I take my foundation and I use Lancome. I went to Sephora, and I mean, I saw a girl with exactly my same complexion, and I ran after her and I said, what foundation are you using? Tell me every single thing that's on your skin. And she told me about the Lancome foundation, as well as this Sephora brush number 55. I'm not going to use the brush really to apply the foundation. What I'm going to do with the brush is I'm going to use it to buff the foundation. So when, of course, she told me that, I bought like 4 bottles, I swear. But I usually just squirt a little bit at the back of my hand, and I will take it and I will apply it to the center of my face. Now, one of the things, or one of the tricks of applying foundation at the center of your face, is that as you begin to smoothen it out and it goes outward to the rest of your cheek, it never gets to sort of go towards your hairline and just stay there. You know, sometimes you see someone with foundation and they have the foundation all in their hairline, and you're like talking to them and you're like, around your hairline. So one of the ways to prevent that is, of course, just to use the foundation or to place it at the center of your face, and then of course to go outward, and then that way it never gets caught hair, which you absolutely don't want. So again, less is more. I'm a huge believer that less is more, especially as we age. Again, sometimes you're talking to someone and you see the foundation on them before you see anything else, and they look like a cake because it's all stacked on. So I tend to believe that less is more, and that it's easier to apply more if you need it, as opposed to removing it. So I'm just going to put a little squig more on the back of my hand, and as you can see, it really just is a little bit because I don't want to waste it, and I'm going to apply it to over here. I kind of believe that your neckline is very important, and what I will do is I will go here and I will massage it into my chin, but I also take it down take it downwards, and then quickly sweep it back up, was so that my neck doesn't look very different from my face. I've said before, and I'll say it again, your neck is very much part of your face. And for my forehead, I don't want the product to go into my brow. So this is where I use a brush, and I will take my brush and I will just go here and be careful with my brow. And I just tap it in like this. Tap, 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 tap. Go to my nose. I'm going to tap it in. And then after tapping it in, and it has a chance or an opportunity to soak in, I'm going to take my finger, and again, because I placed it on the center of my forehead and not too much to start with at the hairline, it's never going to be in the hairline. At least I don't think so. So I'm treating my brow differently, and it won't go in my brow and it won't get into my hairline. And so with that being said, and with foundation on my face, I'm either going to do one of two things. I'm going to now start to buff it, or I'm going to sit here for like a minute or two with my air condition on, because one of the things that as you get older is that, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to sweat a little bit as I get older and I'm applying the foundation. So what I tend to do is that I don't make it a hurry process, because I think rushing it also promotes or generates heat from the body. So I like to sit in a cool room or bring the fan into the room and put it on full blast as I am doing my foundation. So as I said before, I can either have it set right here and go on to buffing it, or I can apply again just a little bit at the back of my hand, and if I feel like, I can apply more. But because I want more of like a daytime foundation, I'm not going for too much, and I'm just going to take my hand and I'm just going to smoothen it into the skin, and you can see, I'm getting all the coverage that I need. But I really don't want to have any part of my skin uneven with slightly more foundation here than there. So what I will do is at this point, this is the point where I take my brush and I'm going to buff it in. One thing I forgot to mention, it's about the eyes. And just like I do with my moisturizer, I would take a little bit, I would go under my eye and I'm going to tap it in. I'm not going to pull at the most sensitive part of my eye. I'm just going to tap it in. Tap, tap, tap. I'm going to do the same on the other eye. And so there's foundation both on the eyelid itself as well as under the eye. And taking the brush number 55 at Sephora, I'm just going to buff. And I'm just going to do that round. It's very important to use a clean brush. And I'm going to show you what happens after I do a foundation routine and how much product is left on. But I am going to just take this and I'm going to, same following the motion of my fingers, I'm just going to buff that in so that it all becomes smooth. And again, don't forget your neckline. You don't want a chicken neck, do you? So I'm gonna, so you see, it all looks really smooth. There's no sort of like demarcation line here or here. And again, I'm careful with my eyes. So I'm gonna do this and sweeping motion. I love when a makeup artist does this for me because they are so much more of the experts than I am. But I've learned a lot from them in the process of taking care of my skin. I go up with my nose to my forehead. Again, remember how I took care of my brow? So you can tell there's really no foundation in my eyebrow or around my hairline or in my temple. And that's it. That's it for my foundation routine. I think my skin looks even, it looks bright. There's a little bit of a dewiness because I moisturized it before. And I want to just show you something because it's really important that you work with clean brushes. So even before you do your moisturizing routine, if I did this, you can see how much product gets stored on the brush. So you really want to clean your brush. I tend to clean mine. I mean, I don't know what the standard is for makeup artists. I'm not a professional at all, but I'm a woman on the go. So I don't literally clean my brushes after every single use, but I would say at least once every couple of weeks, I would take my brushes and I would either soak it in warm soapy water, or these Sephora makeup remover brush cloths are really super as well. And that's it. So don't forget, a couple of tips is the application of it. Start from the center. You can use your beauty blender or your sponges or your brushes. I love my fingers. Stay in a cool room. Don't rush things. Use your fingers to blend the moisturizer in. Don't forget, the worst thing again that you can do is have in these beautiful crease lines that you get as you grow older is to have foundation just settle there. So what you want to do is you really want to like tap that foundation right into the line so it soaks into your laugh line, so it almost blends seamlessly. Don't forget, less is more. You could always put on more. It's much harder to take away. I hope you found these tips very helpful, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, share us, love us, tell your other female friends, your sisters, your moms about us. We love that we are here, that we are creating content so women can grow more beautiful and more successful as they age. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Mwah. I love you all.